All right. Great day, everyone. Not sure what time of day or evening it is that you are watching this video, but thank you guys for tuning in for week 3 of the Spirit course. I hope you guys have been doing your courses week by week. But as you get materials, you may want to just go ahead into the courses and the information because this is some good stuff. So this week we'll be talking all about how we can be connected with nature. We're going to understand grounding and why that's important with our energy. We're also going to be talking about our psychic senses and just connecting with the world around us and through us. So thank you guys and welcome. So the first thing, I know you guys are probably asking, what is grounding? What does grounding mean? All right, we're going to get into that. And this is a picture of my feet. All right, so spiritual grounding is to be in touch with nature, firmly planted on the ground and in tune with our bodies. The word means just as it says, to be connected with the ground, to establish a strong and powerful energy connection with the earth. Grounding is used to make sure our electrical and magnetic energies are well balanced and mixed within us. Okay? That just really tells you what grounding is. Just like as the word stated, grounding is all about being connected. When some people say I'm going outside to go ground, most people go outside and put their bare feet into the ground. And as we go deeper into these slides, we'll understand why this is important and why it's essential that everyone do it. Okay, so grounding in depth. Grounding your thoughts, feelings, and spiritual experiences of any non-physical aspect of being human allows those aspects to become charged within the power to manifest in your life. If you have lots of wonderful spiritual experiences without being grounded, it can be difficult to integrate your experiences into your day-to-day life. Getting a terrific message from spirit and having no way to make it real for you in your daily life can be frustrating experience, coupled with the fact that we are conditioned to think in duality. Spirit lives up there, you live down here. It takes time to integrate our spiritual life with our physical life, just as it takes time to learn a new language, as it takes time to learn the language of spirit. Spiritual grounding can also help people who spend a lot of time in their intellect. If you have lots of ideas and insight, but difficulty manifesting them, grounding will help. Grounding is simply the process of getting our attention out of our heads into our bodies. Most of us spend the day thinking ahead or planning, arranging our time, our jobs to get the idea. Many of us run our bodies on autopilot, only while giving it a thought if it hurts or if it's tired. Okay, so grounding is also another self-care activity. I want you guys to make a note of that. Okay, grounding is good because one, it helps you to stay present when you're grounding, because like the text said, we do spend a lot of our times thinking ahead, planning at work. Our mind is everywhere else, and we don't spend time thinking about our bodies until something is wrong with it. And if we want to prevent things from being wrong with our body, we must listen to it. We must pay attention to it. And like I said before, in several other videos that we've done, just spending the 5 to 10 minutes a day meditating, focusing on the inside of your body is going to benefit you so much. So just think about you taking the time to do the meditations every day. You taking the time to check in on your chakras on a weekly basis. You taking the time to ground every day if you can, if possible. All those activities are you taking the time to focus your energy inward. By you taking the time to focus your energy inward, you are healing yourself. You are making yourself more powerful because everything that you do is coming from within you. It's not happening or coming from outside of you. It's happening within you. So all the time and all the energy that you spend and put into yourself is only going to benefit you. All right, say hi to this little guy. This is Mr. Kari. This is a picture from him earlier this summer in my mother's garden. As you can see, when I spend time grounding, I think the time when I took this picture of my feet, this is when I took this picture of Kari. He's in my mother's garden. He was messing with her green peppers. Well, those are purple peppers, purple bell peppers. But I teach my son to ground when the grass is clean. When we have a safe yard where he can walk in, there's no animals back there. The grass is always freshly cut. There's no pesticides or anything, just fresh grass. I let him sit and play in it. I don't really worry about gnats and bugs. Everybody thinks, oh, it's gnats and bugs. He has off spray on. So he doesn't have any animals eating on him, but he's grounding. You know, he's getting his energy. And, you know, grounding is important. And I don't think it's in this slide, but people who ground reduces their chances of ever manifesting cancer in their lives. You know, grounding, the energy grounded, it eliminates free radicals in your body. Grounding is so beneficial to us, and being enabled to connect with nature and being able to ground is super important. Like I said in the video before, when we are bombarded with life, when we're bombarded with energy and problems and situations, and we feel depleted, I mentioned to you guys and I said, well, one of the things I do to help me recharge is me going outside and looking up at the sky. You know, being in connection with nature helps raise our vibration. It can help pull you out of depression, even if it's cold outside. And one thing I want you guys to know, when it's the winter time and you're in a region where it's cold and it gets snowy, you'll notice that more people are depressed in the winter months. And some people say, oh, is that because the holidays and they don't have money and blah, blah, blah. But most people are depressed during the winter months is because their lack of sunshine they're getting, and it's their lack of time they're spending outside. So a lot of times, if you don't know how to properly work your energy, properly manage your time, properly take care of your mind, body, and spirit, you can get easily depressed. And during the winter time, people are more so depressed is because of their lack of activity in their relationship with nature. Okay? People who are afraid of bugs and don't want to be outside, like, don't do that to yourself, because your body needs a certain amount of outdoors. We get a lot of minerals into our bodies by just being out in the sunlight at certain times of the day. You know, so being in tune and connection with nature can help us develop our psychic abilities and open up different portals within us, which we'll get into deeper as we go along through these slides. Okay, so this picture. Before I get into the reading part, I want you guys to take a look at this picture, because sometimes when we do our meditations and we want to ground ourselves in meditations, and you know, this is a good image for you to visualize when you're grounding. You know, your earth roots are connected to earth. You are connected to earth. You have the power of earth in you. And sometimes when we have these meditations, this is what we want to visualize. You know, when we close our eyes and it says visualize the roots, your roots sinking into earth and that power connecting with you, this is what that visualization should look like. You know, every time you ground, this is what's happening. We are connected to earth, and being and allowing and being aware of this connection is beneficial to us. So here are some examples of ways to help ground yourself. Exercise, move your biophysical body, reminds you that you have one, okay? So exercising is good, and as you guys know, exercising also helps open up our chakras, and it helps purify our auras as well. Walk on the earth, take off your shoes and walk on the earth. Walking on the ground, if it's clean and it's safe. I'm talking about the grass, walking on dirt, walking on sand, those are earth. That's grounding. The third one is meditation. Sit quietly and imagine roots going from your feet deep into the core of the earth, just like the picture. All right. Number 4, sit in hot water. That is great for grounding. So those spiritual baths and baths that you love so much, and they help you feel relaxed. They help you feel in tune with your body. That is a good source for grounding. And then number 5 is sit in stillness, just being still. You know, just quieting your mind, just being still within yourself, being aware within yourself, not allowing your thought to go outside of yourself. All of those are good ways for you to tap into your higher self. Okay, so we're going to the next slide, and please forgive me, I forgot to add I forgot to add my title. I'm gonna see if I can. I can see if I can add it. I'm so sorry. I didn't even know. I forgot to do that. All right, so it's done. We're good now. Okay. So being ungrounded, we're going to talk about what ways, how can we become ungrounded, what ungrounded does. So spiritual grounding is very important for everyone, but especially critical if you have been doing spiritual development or psychic work. So we have been doing a lot of spiritual development over the past 3 weeks. So it's super important that grounding is taught now and you get an understanding of it and you start making it a habit, because this is going to help you without that energy, because next we're going into psychic development. So you're going to be learning and doing a lot of spiritual work, and grounding helps you to stay balanced. It's easy to get quite ungrounded, especially the way we live our lives today with little connection to our earth. Okay. And like it is true. It's so hard for some people, especially now in this region where I'm at. I'm not going outside and the ground is wet and it's super cold outside. So I have to, I really have to utilize and get my times of nature in very, very specifically. And in our world today, sometimes it can be really difficult for you to just take some time to connect with nature. Okay. So making sure that you're taking this time for yourself is super important. So let's talk about the common symptoms of being ungrounded. Okay, so dizziness, feeling spaced out, lightheaded, or a floaty feeling, waking up tired every day, you have difficulty concentrating, forgetfulness, forgetting appointments and other important things, misplacing, losing things, feeling generally unwell, totally lacking energy, tired and drained, falling asleep during meditation, continual daydreaming. Let me hold on, I think. All right, continual daydreaming, sensitivity to light and noise, feeling overstimulated and nervy, bumping into things or other general feelings of clumsiness, getting lost while driving, even when you have a GPS. You can just seem to go the right way, even when the area is quite familiar to you. Having out of body experiences without meaning and feeling that they are not within your control, unable to carry on a normal conversation, including losing track of what you are saying. So these are all common symptoms and things that we have all experienced. These are all signs that we need to be grounded. And I have experienced this a lot with my life. When I can get so busy, when I get so busy and I do not take the time to do all the practices and be in tune with my body, I will start to be forgetful and, have all some of these symptoms. And those are my reminders. I use those as a reminder, like, oh gosh, let me take a break. Let me slow down, especially when I'm losing and misplacing stuff or forgetting appointments, because I keep a very busy schedule and it's very intense. And if I don't keep track of myself, I will lose it specifically. So that's why grounding and all this spiritual development is important to me, because it helps me stay balanced. Because if you don't have it, and if you have so much on your plate, how are you going to be able to tackle all that stuff? Okay, so when I get into those modes where I'm forgetting stuff, I know I need to ground. And that's when I take the time, stop right there. I don't beat myself up. I don't start feeling bad. I start feeling guilty like most people do. I just sit back and say, okay, it's time for me to go back to the basics. Go back to the basics, okay? So I'm going to share with you guys a quick 2-step way to ground yourself. The first one is to stand your feet firmly planted on the ground. Stand with your feet firmly planted on the ground. 2, visualizing or feeling roots growing from the bottom of your feet deep into the earth. That is one of the easiest ways to ground yourself, especially if you are constantly experiencing any of the symptoms that we just mentioned. Okay? Any of those symptoms that I just mentioned, grounding will help you tremendously. Trust. Okay? So I know you guys are thinking, okay, how do I ground myself? How can I keep myself grounded? I did give you guys some examples, but I'm gonna give you guys some more. And I think this is important because sometimes we can't go outside. You know, sometimes it's snowing outside. Sometimes it's too cold. Sometimes it's rainy. So we can't get outside all the time. All right. So how do you ground yourself? So standing firmly on the ground, visualizing your roots growing out of the bottom of your feet into the earth is one way. Feeling yourself in your body by rigorously tapping or massaging areas like your arms, legs, buttocks, thighs, and calves. Okay. Engaging in physical actions such as yoga, stretching, wiggling your body all the way, or dancing. Okay. These are activities that you can do to help ground you. Knitting, cooking, gardening, or doing any kind of creative activity that requires manual work and physicality will bring you down to earth. Okay. So activities, those activities, and if you notice a lot of movement, you being able to move your body is a great way for you to bring awareness, you know, and that's all grounding is to bring you back down to the ground, bring you back, because our mind is always so far out. You know, our mind is so far out all the time that we don't take the time to focus and draw within, you know. So the grounding helps us to come back, you know, because you are a spirit here having a human experience, meaning you can't meditate all the time and be visualizing all the time. There's going to come a time where you have to be able to take your ideas, take your goals, take the things you want to manifest. You're going to be you're going to have to bring them to the physical. Okay? You can't just leave them up in your thoughts, or else they're just going to be up in your thoughts. If you want to be able to experience these things, you have to bring them down to the physical. And in order to do that, you have to be able to stay grounded. You just can't be up in your thoughts all the time. Bringing awareness to where you feel any discomfort or tension in your body, and then working to alleviate that through relaxation and energy healing. Okay, so those are great tips on how you can ground yourself. Okay, and so then we have another chart because it brings us back to the chakras. I know you guys are like, yo, we're always at the chakras. Okay, so this chart just really shows you some unclear aspects and clear aspects of when your chakras are blocked. Now, grounding will help clear and move blockages from your chakras, especially when it's accompanied with visualization and deep breathing. Okay, I'm not going to go through all these things. You guys can see this clearly, and you'll have a link to the slides for this video as well for you to go over through with your for your own personal studies. But these are, you know, one way to help keep your chakras balanced, keep your aura balanced and open, is to being able to ground. The earth energy will suck up all the negative energy through your feet. Okay, so this is really good. And all this stuff is scientifically proven. So I'm not just telling you guys this and hoping to say, hey, believe me because I say this. You guys can go research this and look this up, and this is scientifically proven. They have machines that sit there and see that when you stand on the ground barefooted, you know, some free radicals in your body decrease significantly, you know, because the earth is, you know, it's electromagnetic. You know, we have to be electric. We don't want to have stagnant energy. And a lot of times when we don't move, when we don't spend any time within our bodies, we get that energy blockage that stays blocked. And when it stays blocked, it throws off our whole system, and then we become unhealthy. Grounding helps prevent that process. Okay. All right. And I told y'all this was going to be a short slide. This wasn't super duper long. All right. So wrapping it up, making this make sense to us. Our bodies are made of the elements of the earth. When we ground ourselves, we allow these energies to flow through us, clearing, healing, and balancing our minds, bodies, and heart so that we can function properly and live happier, healthier, more balanced lives. By grounding ourselves, we become fully present in our bodies, accepting the fact that even though we are spiritual beings, we are now walking on this earth in this physical body. We need to honor who we now are, the role that we are meant to play, and the path we choose to walk in this physical world. Okay. So grounding is the balance, because as you tap into all of this spiritual power that you have, as you tap into your 6 natural woman circuits, this grounding aspect is going to be able to help you bring all of that power into physical manifestation. Okay? It's going to be able to help you bring that to physical manifestation. Okay? Because my goal with the Brains and Beauty Academy, I do not want you guys to have access to all this information for you just to know. I want you to be able to have access to this information and then apply it to your own life so you can start seeing the changes in your own life. Okay? These tools and tactics are for you, and we were very strategic in how we place this course together, because we know we knew that we needed to go through meditation and breathing health properly, because those are essential. You know, proper breathing is essential. Being able to quiet your mind is essential. And then we moved into energy and understanding energy, creating a relationship with our chakras, understanding when chakras are blocked and when they're not blocked, understanding when our aura has too much negative energy in it and when it's vibrant. You know, those things are important. And now we're learning how to connecting with nature and how to ground our energy. And then after this, we're going to be going into psychic ability. So, you know, there's a method to the madness, and everything that we're showing you guys, applying this every day. And it's okay to forget. Sometimes life gets super busy and it may throw us off a day or two. It's jumping right back and always knowing that you have the basics. So even if you veer off this information for a whole 2 years and life gets crazy, you're going to always be able to come back to this information. Okay? You're going to always be able to come back to this information to help build you back up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this course. Please take notes. If you have notes, you have questions that you want to be answered when we have our Q&A session this Wednesday, please let me know. Until next time, peace.